Why did no one ever tell me what actually goes down at a high school reunion? Like, I knew this was gonna be a little bit weird and a little bit awkward, but I was not ready for it to go down like this. Because I'm just there with my few friends I kept throughout high school, not really knowing what happened to everyone else's life. So I knew this was gonna be interesting. Okay, so as we're there just grabbing our drinks, mingling with other people, I'm seeing, a few familiar faces, but it's only been about 5 years. How much could have really changed? Girl, more than I could ever think. As we're talking to random people, some people are married, some people have kids, some people are having six-figure jobs that I never expected them to have. But this one girl comes up to our group and shocks us all. Okay, she's going, hey guys, like, how's it going? Long time no see, right? And I'm really looking at this girl and I feel awful because I have no clue who she is. So I had to be like, hey, I'm so sorry, but remind me of your name again. She's, Jackie, you don't remember me? I'm Sydney, right? I'm thinking, Sydney, I think I would remember who this Sydney was because she was the most gorgeous girl in the room. Tall, blonde, and skinny, right? And she was oozing with money in her Chanel suit, all of it. And I'm just really trying to think until it hits me, okay? This wasn't the Sydney I remembered. Because the Sydney I knew was in the corner, about 12 pounds heavier, reading her book with her face stuck into it, and no one used to talk to her ever, not only because she was not like super social and she was super shy, but because she was low-key like a little bit awkward to talk to, right? So I go, oh my God, Sydney, not to be rude, but what happened to you? Okay? Because she had the biggest glow up anyone had in that room. She goes, girl, don't worry about it. Everyone has been asking me the same question, but I just knew when I got into college, I needed to expand myself, okay? I didn't want to be that person who was just shy and didn't talk to anyone anymore. So when I got into my co-op, I took that as my opportunity to completely rewrite who I was. I mean, what do you mean, right? She goes, well, I met this mentor and he helped me like pretty much change everything about me, helped my confidence, helped me build my businesses. And I mean, not only that, everything he taught me helped me get my husband, right? And she shows off this giant rock on her finger. Okay, and I'm just staring at this thing because I didn't think anyone in our age group had money like this, right? But that wasn't even the craziest part. Because as she's telling us about how she has 3 kids now and she's about to buy a house for her new family, walks up this gorgeous man. I'm talking Jacob Elordi gorgeous, right? And he comes right up behind her, smacks her ass and goes, hey babe, aren't you going to introduce me to your friends? I'm going, Sydney, this is your husband? She goes, yeah. This is Jake. Like, don't worry about him. He's just a goofball. I'm just standing there in shock because I couldn't think her life could get any better. But it turns out it's a little bit more complicated than we all thought. Okay, because as she walks off to grab some drinks, we're just talking to her very kind husband. He's showing us pictures of their 3 kids, right? They're going, yeah, like, these are my shining stars, okay? I could not live without them. But as he's showing me all these pictures, I can't help but notice one kid just looks a little bit different than the rest. So I just ask, right? I go, yeah, these 2 kids look so much more similar than this one. He goes, oh yeah, Sydney didn't tell you? Me and her have these 2 kids together, but she had a kid with someone else when she was in college. What? Okay, I knew Sydney was different now, but this was just not making sense, right? So I had to get to the bottom of this ASAP. But I learned so much more than I could have asked for, okay? Because I go and find Sydney and I see her mingling with a few other people from our grade, right? But as I'm walking up to her, I can't help but notice the way that she's speaking, okay? Because this is not the Sydney we knew. She's talking to the rest of these people like she's in a networking event. And I swear, I heard her get someone to intern for her in the summer, okay? But I pull her aside. I go, hey, Sid, I just had to ask, your husband was mentioning that you had 2 kids with him, but you had a kid with someone else when you were, in college? She goes, oh, yeah, when I was actually, like, doing my co-op, reconnected with someone from high school and one thing led to another. Okay, I'm trying to think who this could be because she really had no love life back then, right? So I go, hey, like, run me back everything that happened because I still can't believe what happened to you because honestly, I want to be you when I grow up. She goes, oh, Jackie, it wasn't as hard as you would think, okay? Because when I was in that co-op, I had this mentor who helped me build this confidence, and he taught me how to, be more social and how to network, and that's how I grew my business. And he'd give me all these little exercises through this. Pulls out her phone. She goes, this is called Gleam, okay? It's this app that doesn't only teach you how to get over social anxiety, but how to network and even help you flirt, because this is like Duolingo for communication skills. I'm like, oh shit, okay, I think you're gonna need to send me that, right? But as I'm talking to her more and more, trying to get into the nitty gritty of her life, how she's telling me that, she's ready to start on her 4th kid, I can't help but notice her stare across the room the entire time. And she had just this look of discomfort. I'm going, girl, is everything okay? She goes, yeah, I just hate it when those two talk, right? And as I'm following her island and see what she's talking about, I see our old band teacher, Mr. Andrew, and her husband talking. And before I can even ask her why, she starts going up to them, okay? And as I'm watching from afar, you can tell it's just a little bit heated between the three, right? So I go back to my friends and I go, hey, do you know what's up with that? They go, oh, she didn't tell you? Girl, no, she did not tell me this very important nugget of her life, okay? Because my 2 friends go, yeah, you know how Sydney had another kid with another guy before her husband? I'm going, yeah? They go, yeah. She had a kid with Mr. Andrew.